TC-HELICON VoiceSolo FX150 is, in my opinion, the best solution for personal monitoring. Even though it was originally designed as a vocal monitor, it's actually much more versatile than that. So stick around for the next 5 minutes and I'll show you how. A little bit of techie science here, just to let you know that these two microphones here are actually recording the sound directly from my pair of TC-HELICON monitors here. The reason I've got them here is obviously because you can pretty much get an idea of what's coming into my ears. It's not totally correct, and if there was one caveat that I would advance towards TC-HELICON, it would be to actually change the angle or change the plate around the back where the monitor's attached to the microphone stand, so that you could tilt them a bit more towards my ears, because at the moment the sound actually does move this way instead of actually moving towards my ears. So for keyboard players sitting down like myself, it would be great if they could perhaps issue an accessory which enabled you to do that. I've owned my TC-HELICON FX150s for some time now, in fact pretty much since they first came out in 2014. And since that time I've been rather surprised not to find many keyboard players, at least on the internet, showing off the speaker or showing their enthusiasm for the speaker, and I get the feeling that haven't been picked up very much by keyboard players, which does surprise me, because they have such a great sound, which hopefully this video does show. They're very versatile because from an EQ point of view, for me the synths are creating lots of different sounds. I use a large spectrum of sound, but perhaps for keyboard players that are just using a Rhodes on stage, or they're using a piano, Wurlitzer or something like that, and they want to change their sound for that particular instrument. It's so easy to do with the EQ. I can perhaps demonstrate here with a sort of hybrid sound between guitar and a Rhodes. If I want to change the bass on that, it's so simple to do. Just hit the low, turn it up, put it up full, it gives an enormous amount of bass. If I put it in both, because I'm in stereo here. Again, with great clarity. That's the wonderful thing about these boxes, that they just sound so clean and clear. And similarly for the treble, not something that I would use. I tend to use them completely flat, and I think they sound great just flat. But as I said, for people that want to actually change the sound, you know, you've got the facility there to do that. So let's try a bit with some top end here. I'm being a little brash here, but it gives you the idea that you've got the spectrum there to do it. And you have mid as well. Turn the bass down a bit, you can get a greater impression of the mid. Because obviously there I've just turned up each frequency so you can get an idea of the effect on the sound. And if I now put them back to flat, completely flat, you'll hear the difference, hopefully. There you have it, the EQ. It's great to use. Aside from the FX150 giving a marvellous sound, it's actually been really well designed in terms of ins and outs. I probably use it a little unorthodox compared to most people, but basically you've got two inputs on combi jacks, using it'll take stereo like this one, rather balanced or unbalanced, TRS or TS, into the first two channels, and XLR. If you use the XLR, it enables you to, it automatically engages the preamp. But if you use the jack, it's just the basic level at line input. I actually use channel 1 for my return coming from a Voice Live 2, a TC-HELICON Voice Live 2. Obviously I'm using a pair of these on stage, so I have the left going into this one, and I have another one on the other side of the keyboards over there, giving me my stereo luxury, one could say stereo return sound when I play live. The second input I use for return of my keyboards. The third input, which is actually a mini jack, accepts stereo and mono, and I actually feed it with a mono because I'm feeding a stereo pair of FX150, so I get the left and right. So I use that for actually the return of my sax, including the stereo effects of the sax. You've then got an out and a through. I actually only use the out when I'm live on stage. It isn't connected at the moment because I am just rehearsing. But when I'm on stage, I connect this back to my DAW, my laptop, so that I can record just the vocals. And I'm able to do this by hitting this little switch here, the full mix channel 1 switch. If you press it, it just sends what's coming in on channel 1, which are my vocals. So just the vocals comes out here. That'll take my vocals and effects, so I can separately record that to DAW, because actually when I play live, I tend to record all my instruments separately, keyboards, vocals, and the rest of the band sometimes. Well, there you have it, the TC-HELICON VoiceSolo FX150. And to sum up, for me, I think it's the sound that really makes it a winner. And also, because it's got 3 channels, it's the clarity of each channel coming in when you're using all 3 at the same time that makes all the difference.
All of your fears rolling like stone, falling like thunder into your mind's eye.
By the time you're watching this video, TC-HELICON should have released Build 30, which is an OS update which alleviates a problem of distortion that was happening around the 7th octave. It was also noticed by a few clarinet players and wind players. Build 30 has completely eliminated all of that, so it's given the FX150 a clean bill of health right the way through the spectrum, which makes the FX150s fantastic for PA tops in a small PA rig.